t'a trouvé sur le bord de la route.
C'est quoi frérot, c'est quoi Théma, c'est quoi?
On est inquiets, nous. T'as des traces partout sur le corps, là.
The Noise of the Light, the film from France, far out trippy man. I love the way it was shot. I like how every scene seemed to have its own cinematography, so I could see the real care that was put into this film, and I really created different moods for different scenes that I felt I was brought into, so I really enjoyed that. I thought it was emotionally impactful. I thought the end scene was quite shocking. I didn't know that was coming up, or I didn't exactly know how I was going to manifest it. I kind of like how it ended in a mystery. We still don't really know what she did or what that was, but I enjoyed that, though I think there was so much emphasis on how it looked and how it felt that I wish there was a little more backstory. I wish I would have known the relationship between the people, and if it was trying to be allegorical, because there were some things in there I thought were allegorical, but I don't really think there was enough content for me to really understand the allegory.
People can argue that maybe you don't need to know that, but other people I think want to know more, like all the information, how they got into that center, the car, all that stuff, like how they had the means for all that stuff, and there's more questions than answers.
I thought it was beautifully shot, and it almost felt like you were watching like a really good advertisement for something or a cool music video. And I was like, okay, so like this is a film. And it's like, why does it look like a music video? But then they talk about wanting to make a music video, so I was like, oh, maybe that ties in together with all like they look like those like Polaroid shots, how those are so popular right now.
This is not my original thought, it's actually hers right next to me, and she leaned over at one point, but it really solidified what I was thinking in the way it was shot. It was shot almost like if it was a comic book, because there was so many still shots that it really felt like I was watching a visual comic book happening on the screen in front of me. And that is not a style I've seen very often. Even the coloring, like very orange, very blue, very saturated. You don't see that very often, so I do appreciate the uniqueness of the filming technique. For me, I thought that the inner weird, swirly, squiggly things were supposed to be what she was seeing, like when you close your eyes and that's kind of like overwhelming you. And so at the end, she looked over because my face was just like stuck in this horrified position as she's just screaming and screaming, and that's all you can see too. And I was like, can you imagine if that's it? That's all you can see, and it's just that incredible pain. So I can see why it might have felt a little overdone to some people. Especially if you don't get the technique or like it's not working for you and then they keep doing it, right? Like I can get that, but for me it was more effective.
Film was a comment on how male artists are indifferent or willing to destroy the lives of their female muses.
Vas-y, fais un effort.
I just wanted to say that I think the sound did a very good job of conveying that unease from her perspective, but also as they were making the music, you got a sense of the unique sounds and why these two gentlemen were pursuing that, and it sounded beautiful and torturous at the same time.